between two conflicting testimonies. Somebody is lying.
Okay, so I made a series about a week ago or so that was called 5 Reasons Why I Don't Argue with Conservatives. Now, when I say argue, it doesn't mean I won't talk to conservatives. I won't, at least initially listen to what they're saying, but I'm not going to get, what I really mean by that is I'm not going to get in a back and forth where I try to convince them or try to just present some sort of fact that's going to blow their mind. I think that's a naive way to look at things. I think anybody you want to change, you have to kind of have a relationship over time, and they have to see that you actually care about them, and then when they also see how your worldview ties into how you care about them, then it can change them over time. But having kind of back and forths on social media is very ineffective, and it's better to just enjoy those friends for what you enjoy them for. Like if you like football together, and you can find a way to watch football without going into that, I think that's the more palatable way to deal with people with differing views than to try to actually be convincing them. Just try to create a relationship with them, try to create an interpersonal relationship. So one day maybe they will want to know what your views are and why you think that. You can actually have a deeper conversation, but to do it in a kind of combative way, I don't think that's the most effective way to change people's minds. That's just my personal belief, being a teacher for 20 plus years. To change people's minds, you kind of have to be more of a demonstrator of why your ideas are good, rather than just beating people over the head with them. Okay, so but one of the main reasons, I was digressing a little bit. One of the main things I wanted to kind of look at, because I always love looking at the past when I look at news cycles that are happening now, because when they say history's doomed to repeat itself or whatever, it's what does that really mean? Is that for real? Let's actually look at the history and see how it relates to today, because I think a lot of the times, me being an older head, I think it's overhyped when people talk about how kind of ridiculous the Trump supporters are, and it's now these people have reached some sort of new level of ridiculousness, and I'm we've always had this element in America of kind of just hyper partisanness to the point of religiosity, to the point of a pretty much a cult following, and it's just been apparent. Those of us who've lived longer, if you're seeing it now with the Trump supporters, I would make the argument that when you were looking back in the day at Sarah Palin supporters, Sarah Palin, she was running for vice president on the John McCain ticket, I believe in the 2008 campaign, when they were running against Barack Obama. So let's just look at a little bit about Sarah Palin for a second. Okay, so Sarah Palin, she is an American retired politician. So she was a politician at one point, commentator, author, reality television personality who served as the 9th governor of Alaska from 2006 until her resignation in 2009. So she resigned. I haven't followed up with her career, so I'm not actually sure why she resigned. That might be an interesting story. As a Republican nominee for the president of 2008, alongside with Arizona, John McCain, rest in peace, she was the first Republican female vice president nominated and the second female president nominated for a major party after Geraldine Ferrara in 1984. So she was the second woman on a Republican ticket. Okay. She was the governor of Alaska is what it says. It's the 9th governor. Let's actually see retirement of her. Let's see. Does it say anything about after her resignation? Oh, I think maybe she resigned so she could run for president. Resignation of the governor after 2.4 years was announced after it became effective. The lieutenant succeeded her when I was elected to term. Palin announced she was resigning due to the cost and distraction of her battling ethics investigation, describing as insane in her case. So she got into some ethical issues. Okay, I don't actually want to get into too deep into because clearly she flamed out, right? I don't know that she's definitely not part of the mainstream narrative nowadays. I think they've kind of buried her in the vaults of the past. And we've, especially the GOP, Republican Party, have kind of just tried to move on from Sarah Palin. But at the time, she's running for with McCain. They were running against Barack Obama, and the Republicans were trying to put forth this lady as some sort of serious politician. And I mean, at the time, like, you know, the SNL crowd, they made fun of her like they're going to do for everybody. But she was kind of a ridiculous figure, and she made a lot of gaffes on television, and she was like, you know, just not she didn't come off as the brightest human being in her interviews. And so we'll watch a couple videos. Well, the first video, we'll just watch some of her famous gaffes. I mean, you have enough information to go kind of really research her career if you want to, if you have the time for that. I just don't think it's worth it. There's so many Republicans that have been flameouts and washouts that at the time they try to present as serious people. And when you look at in the past, you can see like, look, these are not serious people. They've never were. They aren't now. They're basically culture warriors. They fight the culture war all day, every day. And that's all it is. That's all they care about. So let's see some of her famous gaffes. So, I mean, and you know how they are with gaffe highlight reels. It's going to be taken a little bit out of context. So you can't like take everything you have to go do more research yourself to kind of get more of the context for some of these gaffes. But these were some of the biggest gaffes at the time where we were kind of like, oh, she's not looking good, and the sound quality may not be the greatest. So bear with me, please. All right, so check this out.
I'll try to find you some and I'll bring them to you. They're our next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Well, explain to me why that enhances your foreign policy credentials.
Well, it certainly does, because
Sound mix on this is really, really not great. The music is super loud and the vocals are not that great, but whatever. I think you can kind of make out.
Why that enhances your foreign policy credentials.
well, it certainly does, because our next door neighbors are foreign countries.
What newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand
I've
the world?
read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
Like what one specifically, I'm curious that you...
Okay, so far some of her big gaffes, because the vocals on it aren't tremendous. I'll kind of just paraphrase them really quickly. One of them was basically asking, like, what's your foreign relation experience? Because obviously she was just newly governor of Alaska. She doesn't have a ton of it, political experience. And she's like, well, I can see Russia out our window, you know, kind of making reference of the proximity of Russia to Alaska. Incidentally, like, America did buy Alaska from Russia. So, I mean, yeah, sure, they're close, but that's just being able to look at, it's not like you have to deal with any Russian culture or anything. So that was kind of considered kind of a really silly statement to make, you know, rather than say, well, you know, I don't know. She could have said something else as opposed to saying, I can see Russia, and that somehow gives me experience. So that was kind of very maligned in the mainstream media. I mean, rightfully so. Also, this one where Katie Couric is just asking her, like, what do you read? Do you read anything? And I know, kind of conservative fashion. She can't name you something she's read.
All of them, any of them, are struggling under the...
All of them, any of them. See, now that theme of just kind of when you don't know, just kind of giving this blanket, vague, meaningless response, you're going to see this in the next video afterwards when we're going to look at her supporters.
Weight of the wrong mortgage. I would hope at least that those protesters have the courage and the honor of thanking our veterans for giving them the right to protest. Okay, I'm doing that.
Good, really. We've got to start reining in the spending. We have got to jumpstart these energy projects. We've got to start reining in the spending. We have got to...
I've been hearing about his Senate speeches since I was in like second grade.
When you have a 72-year-old running mate, is that a kind of a risky thing to say? It's insinuating that Joe Biden's been around a while?
Oh, no, it's nothing negative at all.
And in true, on that last one, in true kind of ironic fashion, the Republicans. She's making fun of Joe Biden's age, and Joe Biden's running for president. He might just be president right now, and John McCain is he's dearly departed. So, oh my gosh, it's like even when you look in time, it's like they're always wrong. These fools are always wrong. It's not, again, like I grew up in a conservative household, and I got to have a front row seat to the constant wrongness and the lack of critical thinking, the contempt for critical thinking, the adherence to religiosity. Just oh my gosh, it's like I see so much of that in these people. That Christian conservative stuff. Okay, so we're gonna now she's running, and these are people who are fans, and we're not fast forwarding, we're going back into the past, back into the time, and we're looking at Sarah Palin supporters. And now these are the proto-Trump supporters. These are the people who they basically are the same type of people who are Trump supporters. So again, this is a lesson, history. Once you've seen it, don't act surprised, okay? And that's why you'll see a lot of people of color, people like me, when we see these Trumpos again, we understand explicitly that this exists in America. And until you confront this foolishness, then it will always continue. It'll always be this little festering, rotting decay that will be underneath the surface, just waiting for poor economic times and a lack of opportunity to bubble over the surface. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Sarah Palin supporters. This is great.
Well, tell us why you're out here today.
I am out here today because I want to meet Sarah Palin.
We're out here to have a chance to meet Sarah Palin.
She makes me proud to be a woman, and she's strong. I think she's refreshing, a breath of fresh air.
She's like a rock star in the conservative movement.
She stands for what America is.
Yeah. And what do you mean by that? If you could clarify further.
Freedom.
This bitch look hard, dude. She look scary. Look at how stern this one's face is. Whoa! Oh! She don't play no mess. This guy a goofy. He a cute little goofy. Look at him like it's a little goofy face. But this woman,
She stands for what America is.
Ooh, you see that little stand for what America is. She's like, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker. We don't do no Marxist socialism, Bolsheviks, diversity, Black Lives Matter. We don't do that. You could, whoa, she'd have telegraphed that shit. Whoa, quarterback, I'm the receiver. Boom, I done caught that shit. I got that. I got the message, woman. Whoa, she a patriot with the fire. The fire.
And what do you mean by that? If you could clarify further.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Whoa. Our liberty. The right to speak.
She is the epitome.
Because you know those bloody socialists hate freedom. They all want to be in jails and want you in the jails with them. Transgendered and queered and race mongreled. That's what they want you. They don't want your freedom. They don't want a freedom. They want to be in a queer, black, African jail cell. With all the little transitioned people, all us weirdos together, all us queries.
Conservativeness. And I'm telling you, if the Republican Party doesn't back her, it doesn't matter because she's going to get the presidency.
And do you hope she runs for president?
Okay, homeboy, she running for vice president. Like, calm down.
I'd love it. I would like to see her be our first female president.
Again, these are all Trump supporters. These are all people who voted for Trump. They voted for Trump. The beauty of Trump is these people don't get to kid. Back in the day, again, white supremacy works like you get to obscure it. You get to pretend, oh, we're just talking about taxes. We're just talking about neighborhood schools. We're just talking about busing, we're just talking about drug laws. But, you know who these laws are always meant to benefit and who they're meant to make life put hurdles in front of. And these people have been allowed to pretend that they don't know this. Trump doesn't, now they got to be like, you know what, fuck Black Lives Matter, white people. Because Trump be like twittering like white power and shit, like homie in his little golf cart. Yeah, there's a video of that. So they're out. But this was before they had to be out with it, straight with it. They couldn't be, they could still hide. And it was kind of like they were doing the finesse game.
What are some particular issues of Sarah's that you would like to see her bring to office?
I mean, this bitch just scares me. Like, she is so stern. She reminds me of like a matron from boarding school, boy. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, gee. Help me out here, guys.
Okay, now she folds.
Oh, gee.
Her be our first female president.
What are some particular issues of Sarah's?
Okay, so here is where conservatives usually falter. The policy. This is actually where corporate Democrats falter too. The policy. Tell me, why do you support someone more than and these are the people who always hate social justice warriors. And I'm telling you, these are cultural warriors. You know, the Democrats have them too, where they're like, I need to vote for someone because they're black, or they're a woman, or they're a man, or they're gay, or they're not gay, or whatever. Like, instead of just being able to be like, I support someone because of these policies, and I can connect these policies to how they might help the average person. No. This is all feelings. This is all in my feelings. I've got some feelings, everybody's got them. Let me tell you mine.
That you would like to see her bring to office?
Oh, gee. Help me out here, guys.
Help me out here, guys. Liberty and freedom. But beyond that, I'm like, oh, don't know what the fuck that means.
Fairness.
Fairness.
Realness.
Realness.
But any policies, I guess, specifically that you of hers?
I can't think of the policies right off the
Also, this is a master class in how to deal with conservatives. If you do insist on challenging their ideology, pretty much just always ask questions. Just like, what policies are you into? Like, you can always do that in a benign, even kind of enthusiastic way where you seem like, oh no, I just want to learn more because maybe I want to be conservative like you. Yeah, what policy do you think she's good? Well, she's a white woman like me. She's a white woman like me. I've got glasses. She's got glasses. She's got a skin tone. I got a skin tone. So I like to vote for her. Boom, boom, boom. So I like to vote for her.
The bat. She's someone who can make a difference.
Yeah. What differences would you like to see?
I mean, I do fuck with Lord of the Rings, so I do appreciate that.
Your make.
She's like, she will freaking slay Saruman and save us from the orc socialist ghouls and restore order.
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it.
What are her proposals for healthcare?
I'm not really sure.
Well, what are some?
But I do know she's a woman and she stands for liberty and freedom. Just like me. Not like those socialists who just hate freedom. Okay, we taking bets, my lovers. We're taking bets, my nieces and nephews. Do you think we're going to hear some socialism bashing? Because I will be thoroughly disappointed if we do not. I will be darn right sad if we do not take this interview opportunity. This man is walking around to tell me how much socialism fucking sucks.
Issues of hers that you agree with?
I'm not sure where you're going with that. What issues?
How about foreign policy? What do you like to see in terms of foreign?
Why do you have to make everything so political? And he's like, what issue? She's like, what issues? What issues? Like, what the fuck? Like, you stupid. This is just amazing. I love this.
Her proposals for healthcare.
We were just so much more innocent back then to this shit.
Well, what are some issues of hers that you agree with?
I'm not sure where you're going with that. What issues?
I was here because I heard woman and politician and glasses like me. Let me see if she got glasses. She got glasses like me, dog. Oh, we like issues. That is like one of my. She so thoroughly doesn't give a fuck. She's like, I'm here for Sarah Palin because she's famous. I saw her on the television that I watched. The Fox News told me she was great, so I came out here to get issues. What are you, one of those socialists? Issues. OMG, I love that.
Where are you going
amazing.
with that? What issues?
How about foreign policy? What do you like to see her do in terms of foreign policy?
That tickles me in all sorts of ways.
To be honest with you, I don't know anything about her foreign policy. I don't know. I really don't have an answer. I don't know.
Again, just whenever you're talking to a conservative, just ask them to explain. These are the best of them who are just be honest and tell you, no, I don't know. But the ones that will actually start talking, it's almost like if you just sneakily record what they say and just listen back to it, you will entertain yourself you could be in a dark, solitary confinement corner and you can just like, let me just listen to that video of the conservative trying to explain their position. Explain. Teach me. Remember, that was one of the points we went over. They're not going to teach you shit. They have a lot of opinions. They can say freedom very, very loudly. Freedom, manly, impulsive. Freedom, manly. You know I love it when you're manly and impulsive. That is like so entertaining to me to watch. Manliness, impulsiveness. I love freedom. Well, explain what you mean. Well, I don't really quite. You're asking me to use words to express the feelings inside. And I like just punching and drinking beer. I'm like, come on, man. This is. I'm not a multitasker, man.
Her well enough, her thinking. I don't know what she knows and what she doesn't know.
Wait, so if you don't know what she knows and what she doesn't know, what do you get? Oh, I forgot to tell you, there was a big simp crew for Sarah Palin because she was the MILF, she was the hot mom, she was like hot looking 40-something mom, and she was like, I feel like if you just a straight horrible person, then you're not cute anymore. But Sarah Palin was more like a goofy. She was more like a goofy. So it's almost like she was kind of cute because she was so goofy, Like she wasn't like, they hadn't gotten to this like hateful Tommy Lauren place yet. I mean, and cultures were around and shit, but like at least from their politicians weren't like these vitriolic demons from hell. So she was more like a goofy that just said a lot of goofy shit than more like you hated her. I never felt like I hated her. It was more just like fun to laugh at her.
I wouldn't know half the stuff that probably some people ask me.
What do you think she would bring in terms of policy to office?
She looks serious. I like if I was being super stereotypical, I would be like, this might be the one person that might say some intelligent shit right now. If I was just being stereotypical, I didn't know nothing. She kind of looks put together, like just a straight up, like a clean, sensible human being right there. So let's hear what homie's about to say.
Good judgment again.
Whoa. Very
Any
vague.
specifics?
Very vague. Yeah. So he's like, he's feeling the same way. He's like, yeah, specifics, please. Again, these people cannot give you specifics. They just can't do it. Again, I grew up in a household of this shit. I grew up with this shit every fucking day. Like, if you don't like something and I don't know how to explain why, just say it's evil and Jesus doesn't like it, and that should suffice. That's good enough. I always have Jesus in my back pocket. Everything I don't like is the fucking devil, and like we don't even have to discuss it more. They're used to that shit. So when they get out into the open world, the lions and the tigers who want you to explain yourself, it's like, what the hell? This is like an onslaught, man. You're asking me to be fucking articulate. Usually I can just say like socialism, and all my friends and buddies are like, yeah, fuck that. Now you're asking me to explain things. God damn it. I'm just better at insulting and name calling. I'm not good at explaining. I'm good at name calling.
I think that she would get control of some of the out of control spending.
Clean up.
Again, this is one of my when I get into my trolling on social media, and that's what I always do at the end of the day. I'm just like, explain yourself, please. Please. Oh, you can't explain yourself. Very typical of the right-wingers. Really, really good at insults. You guys are tremendous at insulting people. I can't. Hypocrite, you call me. That really hit me to the core. So you win on that level. You're great at name calling. Now just explain why. Just tell me why my response would elicit you to call me such names. And then it's crickets. They're like, no, I called you a name. End of argument, dumbass. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it works. Well, you're the high IQ ones who can't explain why, can't even name one policy.
The spending. Stop
Ooh,
the spending.
stop the spending. Stop the spending. The frickin' taxes. These Democrats. Republicans always spend more. The last person to not have a deficit was Bill Clinton. He was a Democrat. The Republicans just spend, and then when the office changes and it's a Democrat, then they now are concerned. Literally, they're like, let's get into office, give tax cuts for the rich. Now let's cut Social Security. This damn Social Security is cutting a hole in our frickin' finances. God damn it, helping people sucks. But still pay taxes though. Still give us your tax money. And for you independent contractors, still write us that fat fucking check at the end of the year. 10, 15 grand on taxes, no problem. 20 grand. If you're Cardi B, probably in the millions. No problem. But you know, but tax cuts and shut up, man. Like, can you talk about policies at all? No, just vague things. Tax cuts. You gotta cut taxes. My taxes are too high. Well, what do you think is probably a good rate of taxes? I don't know, man. That's why I'm voting for Sarah Palin. What am I, a taxatician, man? Shit.
Decrease taxes, cutting taxes.
You want to give away your own money, that's fine.
This is my favorite guy. I'm not even gonna lie. I love this fucking nigga. This guy's dope.
It means
this
people
guy's
are gonna
dope.
suffer in the end.
I would actually I'm not even being silly, dude. I would love to have it because he doesn't seem like a harmful person. He just seemed like kind of good. I just love to have a beer just once. I wouldn't want to make a regular thing and just listen to him prattle on and just be like, I'm not going to interrupt you. I am faded and I'm just going to listen to you and I'm just literally doing this because it's fun.
You want to give away your own money, that's fine, but don't.
And then you can kind of hear that spittle, like he's in your face and shit. He's drunk and he's like, you want to give away your shit, that's fine, bitch. Like,
you want to give away your own money, that's fine, but don't tell me to give away my money. That's socialism.
Oh, zing went the strings of my heart. OMG, what a cutie. Oh, he hates socialism. I knew we were going to get it sometime, and I knew it had to be my friend. Oh, and he would just go off about how much socialism sucks. And then you'd be like, have you read Das Kapital? He'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he'd be like, socialism sucks. Have you read the Communist Manifesto? What are you talking about? Fuck Karl Marx. You do know Karl Marx was an author. What are you talking about? He's just a Bolshevik communist. Yeah, but he does have theories and things, you know. Do you know anything about that? Nah, just socialism. I suck at socialism. At least he was kind enough to remember some of the things he watched on TV and like be able to reproduce them in front. Like, this guy is gully. I like him. We'll just call him George. Curious George. He's like, got that yellow, like the man in the yellow hat. So we'll just call him George. I like him.
You want to give away your own money, that's fine, but don't tell me to give away my money. That's socialism.
See, that's another fool. Like, imagine if that fool rapped. Imagine if this fool was like a rapper. You thought he was all a goofy and he's just like, look, I got hot bars. Yo, I'm like a big star. Look at these 3 stars, 3 river. Yo, hard, go hard. Or something. I don't know. I'm not a rapper, but gosh darn, that would be awesome. Would be awesome. Some of these people, if they just did something else, just went another direction other than this stuff, it's just, people need more opportunity, right? They need more stuff in their community so they don't become like this. Man, give them a program. Let them learn how to produce music. Build cars, give some people healthcare, then they wouldn't be like this. I guarantee it.
But don't tell me to give away my money. That's socialism.
Barack Obama, he wrote 2 books describing in detail exactly.
Also, not to be too big a dick, but doesn't this guy look like he has tons of money? Like when we're like tax the rich, we're really thinking about this guy, eh?
Your own money, that's fine, but don't tell me to give away my money. That's socialism.
I'm sorry. This is how I watch videos. I'm so obsessive.
In detail exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah. And what did the books describe?
Well, you know, his Marxism, Leninism, you know, socialism.
I think that she would.
Oh, imagine them having to describe what socialism is. I know what they would say though. They probably just say, "Well, when you take my stuff and you give it up, and that's socialism. I want my things. You don't have my footballs, man. You see that jersey and the hat? I want them both." And a socialist, they'd be like, "You can't have the hat and the jersey, bro. You have to give one up. This is socialism. What do you want? You want the hat or the jersey? You want the beanie? You want the toque, or you want the jersey? Because I'm going to take one. It's socialism, eh? We're coming." I don't know why. I kind of became like Sarah Palin. But he's like, socialism's coming. Give me your gear. I don't want the coat. I want the Ohio State gear because that's what I particularly like. And this is socialism. I get to choose what I'm gonna make you share. And it's kind of like the socialists roll up on you. The socialists are like Debo. You ever seen Friday? And they're like, Debo, hey, what you got on my drink, homie? And everybody sees the socialists coming. They're like, oh, hide your chains and shit. The socialists are coming. God damn it. God damn it. I hate when them socialists always come, always checking. That's all they know how to do. They know for checking niggas. That's all they do. The socialism is they coming to jack your shit. They are, fool. I don't like a socialism, but don't ask me to explain it with words and articulation. Come on, what are you, a socialist? That's what a socialist would do, want me to explain. He says Marxism, again, let's be real. Let's be stereotypical. Let's be stereotypical. Does this person look like he's read Das Kapital? Does he look like he's read the Communist Manifesto? You know what I mean? If you're going to say Marxism and Leninism, you should be able to have like at least a brief summary. I've read the Communist Manifesto, and this is how I feel about it. Before you start labeling everyone socialist, I think that would probably be the most prudent thing to do. But you know, come on, being prudent, these people, that's like, that doesn't happen. It's never going to happen. Prudence and a Sarah Palin. These are really Trump supporters of the past, right? They went into, you think this guy doesn't support Trump? Come on now, please. He might have changed. Again, he looked like he could be a cool football coach, work with inner city kids or something. He liked football. He could probably reach kids in the hood or do, I don't know. He might already do that. All of these people might already do the things that I'm saying that they could be doing. Maybe homie does that. I don't know. But I don't think you would. And also, I'm gonna make a hot take right now. You can't be into cool shit and be at a Sarah Palin book signing. And again, for a book signing for someone who doesn't even read, who can't even name something that she reads. It just goes so deep, the levels of ridiculousness with these people. That's why I'm just like, ugh, do not argue with them. Just kind of watch the circus. Again, circus. It's all circus. It's like a carnival.
Well, you know, his Marxism, Leninism, you know, socialism.
I think that she
acknowledge the system of government in the United States rather than focus of administration of czars.
Yeah. And what are some of your problems with czars?
I'm an American.
Yeah.
She got you there, homie. She got you there, homie. Game, set, match, motherfucker. American, fuck yeah. The fuck out of here, bitch. Don't be asking me no follow-up. Cuh. Hey, cuh. American, cuh. Look, cuh.
We don't have czars in America.
I don't think he
We
likes
don't have czars in America. Yes, we do. We have the drug czar. Like, what do you... Shut up. Like, yes, we have czars. Like...
military. I think he can pretend that he does. I don't think he likes the military at all.
I think we in Ohio right now. I saw two Buckeyes shits, and then Steelers. That's more Pennsylvania. But I feel like when you wear with two people with the gear, I feel like we in Ohio now. But I don't know. I'm just assuming.
I think the country's going.
Oh, you got the Sarah Palin sticker. You got the Sarah Palin sticker. That's so cute. This is. I'm gonna make a really bizarre reference. This is for my 80s crowd right here. Y'all ever see Weird Science? Remember the dickhead brother Chet? Like, couldn't you imagine this being Chet grown up? The one who homegirl turned him into this like slovenly like alien kind of being, and like he kind of looks like the Chet. Like, that's a hell of an obscure reference. Only my old heads, my 80 head is gonna get that. But if you look up Chet from the movie Weird Science, not the TV show, but the movie, played by I think it's Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton. I always get them two confused. But oh my goodness, that is funny. He kind of reminds me of that with his little crew cut, his little army cut. Oh, and his little Palin thing. Oh, that is so adorable. Oh, I want to pinch his cheeks.
I'm wondering whether or not we're going to have a presidential election in 2012. Yeah. I know there's some backroom talk of martial law. I'll give you one scenario.
There's some backroom talk of martial law. If this man is still around, you think he probably loves Tim Pool, right? That's some Tim Pool talk right there. The martial law, it's been in the back rooms. I don't know. Alex Jones for sure. He would definitely messing with Alex Jones.
That would absolutely do it is if an atom bomb goes off in the United States.
We're no longer an exceptional
What the
country.
fuck was
We're no
that?
longer the shining light, the beacon to the world of what a society should look to be. As far
I'd love to see that guy make a YouTube video of when it all changed. When did it all go to shit? Camo dude. He's wearing camo for those of you on the podcast. Yeah, camo dude. What should we do? How should we proceed forward? What ideas do you have?
As far as freedom, we're just another country.
And you think Sarah will win if she throws her hat into the ring?
Well, he's naturalizing a lot of illegal aliens.
So again, we're a decade ago. They're saying these conspiracy theories and this nonsense. They've been actually on this forever. If you ever know anything about Joseph McCarthy and McCarthyism, we've been on this shit forever. But I mean, like, so it's like whenever the new news cycle of people coming up and they're also surprised, oh my gosh, look at how crazy those people disconnected. We will always have this in society until we find a meaningful way to address this and we just allow it to exist. It will always exist. It's not going to go away. This isn't going to go away. I just fervently believe in shit, but I don't need facts to do so. And when you ask me to explain why, I'm not articulate. Now, this is edited, so they might have found people who are quite articulate, but I haven't seen them. We have videos in the modern times. These people have ample opportunity to make their own videos and get on YouTube and explain why. I don't know.
Process of doing that, they're saying she's not going to have the votes when you throw those numbers in.
There won't be enough white votes on one side to get a candidate through.
No way.
I don't think he's even an American citizen.
We do need to have.
That was the Donald Trump, Barack Obama's. It was not I need him to show his birth certificate, but I'm not racist. Nonsense that we all went through.
Profiling. I mean, the politically correctness has got to get out now.
I know. We got to get out this political correctness. It's just ruining America. These people who hate political correctness, imagine her making a YouTube video. This is what it used to be like in the glorious days before political correctness ruined everything. You used to just be able to call people whatever they want, and if they didn't like it, you go cry in a corner, you loser. Oh, you're so sensitive. But now, you must think about the people you talk about. It's like, this is the same person who's like, issues? What issues? But now we're talking about political correctness and she's got some issues.
I mean, we're Americans and she sticks up for the American people, not for other people.
Okay, do you see that? Do you see this? This is the Tucker Carlson shit. All of this shit is here. Now, all you need to do is, if you're a halfway savvy media person, is watch videos like this and understand that these people will always need to be spoken to. These people need media for themselves. They need something to believe in. And that's why all of these right-wingers are going to be eaten. These people have a insatiable appetite for things that make them feel good, things that make them feel like, no, you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to have a reason. Your feelings are enough to take you to the finish line. And everyone around you has the same feeling, so we don't need to explain ourselves. We all know what it is. We all know what the dog whistles are for. We all know, oh, look at homegirl in the window. She's like, I'm scared. There's a homegirl in the back if you can look at the back window. I was just looking, I can see her peeping. She like right in the middle. She's like, what the heck's going on out there? But yeah, these people just need to be spoken to. These people are like, look, they're literally telling you what they need. I need conspiracy theories. These people, like, most of these people, if they were QAnon people, would you be surprised? Come on now. You wouldn't be surprised. The birtherism too. Obama was it? Because they were already starting. Trump had already started. That shit was a conspiracy theory. And white people were like, they did the fascist thing that you do. when you're called out on it, oh, it's just a joke. We're just joking about him not being American, the first black person ever. And that's the joke we're making. It's just a joke. You can't take a joke. You're just so sensitive. Political correctness, right? And they dog whistle, but it's based on nothing. But he had a birth certificate. Oh, but we don't believe it. So they'll never believe anything. This is the energy that Trump. This is the whole vibration of a Trump supporter. Fuck a fact. Give me a break, dude. I don't give a fuck about no facts. Just please. That's some pussy shit.
We're first, other people last.
When you're right, you don't have to compromise.
Whoa!
Compromise is for people that are wrong.
The state that
Oh my. Wow, compromises for people. So the very act of compromising in and of itself denotes some sort of wrongness. Do you understand that statement is a statement from a person who cannot be argued away from shit? When you make statements like that, compromises for you think that person's ever going to tell himself he's wrong when he has that mentality? Yeah, someone like that's also going to be like, you know what? I'm wrong. I should compromise because I'm wrong.
Have to compromise. Yeah. Compromise is for people that are wrong.
The state that she did govern was right across the street from Russia.
Right.
Okay, yes, not across the street, mate. I mean, maybe in some sort of Pangea time. Actually, those pre-human settlement, they were no, not pre-human settlement. Like ancient settlements, they were connected because I believe people did travel on foot and animals through that passage. But over time, and we're talking about millennium. That area separated. So we're talking about ancient history with that, like human migration of early stages of man. It's not across the street, homie. And even in those times, there were no streets. So we're talking about it's a body of water. We're in 2008, homie. It's a body of water. Let it be known. I mean, I don't know future generations. The map will change hundreds of years from now, but circa 2008 in Alaska, there was a body of water separating Alaska and Russia. So it's not across the street, mate.
Across the street and you'd be in another country.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that she's ever had to deal with Russia, but I'm sure she's had, boundary issues that she had to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she ever had to deal with Russia, but I'm sure she's had boundary issues that she's had to deal with.
Like we got boundary issues in Mexico right now.
Ooh, we're starting it. We're getting it. The Mexico bashing immigrants thing. These Russians are coming over and taking over Alaska. They're coming up the streets. Wow, powerful ignorance, my man.
Governor of Alaska are the only one that has a top security.
What's that mean?
It means that if anything happens to our borders on that side, she's the first one of the line of attack for there.
Drill, baby, drill.
I don't know what that meant.
For one. I mean, that's one thing, absolutely. And some of these.
Of course, a lot of people.
I don't want to be mean, but this lady does look a little bit unhinged.
There. Drill, baby, drill. For one.
I mean, who would say that and then kind of laugh like a cackle-y kind of laugh? Drill, baby, drill. Like, whoa, okay, you love the big oil. She loves big oil.
She's the first one of the
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of big oil. Love it. Manly, impulsive. Oh! You don't have to have a penis to be manly and impulsive. So macho, tough, oil rigs, pumping all that gushing oil. Ooh, ooh. Drill it. Drill, baby. Drill, baby. Oh, just drill. I get so freaking torqued when I hear people talk like that. Oof, I might have to end and just take a minute.
For there.
Drill, baby, drill. For one. I mean, that's one thing, absolutely. And some of these.
Of course, a lot of people are saying that we don't have enough. There's not enough oil.
Well, look at it like this. Suppose that we do drill.
Yeah.
And not just for oil, but for gas. And for while we're talking about that. Look, some of these special interest groups like PETA and that try to do endangered species with polar bears and other animals. Well, now...
Fuck those motherfucking animals. What are you, like some sort of pussy cuck? You getting cucked by polar bears? Is that what you are? You that Indian in the commercial crying over the pieces of trash on the ground? Is that what you are, man? You don't like pipelines and energy? Oh, this person gives me a lot of manly and impulsive energy, and I'm here for it. OMG. Oh, just that person needs to be working in oil. There's no doubt. That person is just an oil baron. Pump it, drill, baby, drill.
We need to get the polar bears off the endangered list so that we can drill there.
Get them get your ass off there, polar bear. Get your ass out of here, polar bear. I don't give a goddamn about you or a socialist. Hate polar bears and I hate socialists. They're darn near the same bloody thing. I need to drill this oil, please.
We got all this energy, self-sufficient oil, gas right under our feet. Why aren't we
Self-sufficient oil? Gas under our feet.
exploring more for it and drilling here?
Well, we do fracking now, so they would love that. The same people just love their fracking. I see a lot of Ohio State. I feel like they're in Ohio. I see a kind of a mommy type grandma in between type lady wearing Ohio State. That's got to be some there in Buckeye country.
Instead of sending all that money overseas and then exporting or importing all that oil back to us.
The second policy I love is the abortion issue.
Partial birth abortion, a baby is within this much of being a baby, and they gouge it from being.
We have laws against it now, right?
Yeah, but they're being thrown out, chiseled at day after day.
You think those laws are being taken away?
Yes, they are.
But it seems like in recent years they're actually being strengthened.
He said he was against partial birth abortion, but he's done nothing to prove that.
How has he been supportive of partial birth abortion?
Well, I'm on the spur of the moment, I can't tell you that. I just believe it.
It's like without fail. Just explain the shit you just said. Well, OMG. This is how, like, if you see, like, again, I've seen this I grew up around this shit. So, as an old head at this point, if I still listen to this shit and take it seriously, that's my fault. If I were to listen to this man say some dumb shit, dude, you ain't having no abortions, bro. What are you pushing, like, into your 60s, 70s? Why are you even talking about abortion? You getting these young hotties pregnant, dog? You out here running these streets and shit, fucked around and got her pregnant. He's gonna raise it though, cause he a real man and shit. He don't leave the baby in the dirt like that, bro. You're so old, dude. You're not having an abortion. I don't even know why it would be in your thoughts. Where you feel like, where you would feel so strongly about it. I just don't get that, man. It's just culture war shit.
He was against partial birth abortion, but he's done nothing to prove that.
How has he been supportive of partial birth abortion?
Well, I'm on the spur of the moment, I can't tell you that. I just believe that I've heard that over and over again.
See what I'm saying? When you see it the second time, you realize how ridiculous this shit is. Maybe it was the first time you seen it, you're like, oh, he just saw on the spot and he's nervous. No, you could give this motherfucker, you could put Google into his fucking hands right now. You could give him the power to search anything he wanted, he still couldn't tell you. Get the fuck out of here.
I know it's going on. These procedures are...
I know it's going on. Alex Jones told me.
Happening.
Where have you been hearing
the
that? A lot of
reptilians
people
told
said that to us. I'm just trying to get an idea of where people are hearing this.
Well, I belong to church groups, study groups.
That's the best frickin' place to get news. Everybody knows it. You heathens are just dumbasses.
And, I watch television.
Yes. No, you don't watch television, mate. You watch Fox News. Just say, it's cool, mate. We don't care. We know you watch Fox News. I watch television. These conspiracy theories are just on television somewhere.
All the time.
And what are you watching on television to find this?
Well, I watch Fox News a lot.
OMG, I'm so fucking shocked.
And what are some of those freedoms that you think have been taken away?
Well, I really think the fact that I am a Christian, I think that the government and the mainstream media has been playing a role in...
See, this is the birth of QAnon. Like, QAnon is so easy to create. That's why it's, like, they're literally telling... Like, that's what cultists do. They just listen to the shit disaffected people say, and they're like, I will just be all of those things. And I will morph. And I'll morph into whatever that person wants to be. Like, these are like lambs. These are like sheep telling you, just tell me something strong and bold that is within the range of something I can accept. You know, like Muslims are losers. Like, then go from there. I mean, obviously, the PC culture will not allow me to just say Muslims are losers. But, you know, be clever. Just don't say the word Muslim, but just rag on. Do the Sam Harris shit. Like, Sam Harris, that's where I'll give him where he's smart. He's like this, like, ooh, I got you on this. Now, if I just affect a calm demeanor, a calm white man demeanor, and I just say things like, look, it's in the Quran. If you read it enough, you'll understand that Muslims are inherently going to turn to genocidal violence against Western culture. There's no really other way of interpreting it. I hate to have to say that. It's an unfortunate truth. But there's a time in which we have to not give in to our impulses in terms of trying to satiate the impulse for social justice or political correctness, where we can just call it for what it is and not have to worry about being labeled some sort of racist or xenophobic or something like this, where we're just really using the text of the Quran to understand that inherently it will lead ultimately to violence 100% of the time, all of the time, just kind of like when you use Black Panther to get that the ladies. It's like it works 60% of the time, all of the time. So that's all you need to do. You just need to talk calmly and wear a suit and tie, and you can say as hateful things as you want, targeting these type of people who are telling you exactly what I want to hear. I want to hear that immigrants are the problem, so tell me immigrants are the problem. Tell me Muslims are a problem. Tell me the anti-Christian sentiment is destroying Western civilization. Tell me that white people are special, but you can't say white people are special. Just let me know that I'm special. Let me know that you're protecting me and not these other people. I just want normal suburban people, not these thugs. And I don't want to mess with no protesters. So literally, like, if I was to watch this, I was a grifter, I would just literally just take notes and I could construct in 15 minutes, less than an afternoon, smoke a bunch of weed and come up with a bunch of talking points that people like this, they would follow me to. And the thing about these people, they're actually way more loyal. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but they're way more loyal. They'll allow you to be a little pedo and a sucker and a piece of shit and a detriment to all mankind in society. As long as you keep feeding them the talking points that they like, they'll jump through hoops for you, no matter how disgusting or abhorrent or reprehensible you may be. So it's a tremendous grift because they're literally just sitting there telling you, please grift me. And Trump is the king of grifters. He's like the con man supreme. And this is fertile territory for a con man. This is like buying a bag of black gold when you're trying to pot some delicious Roma tomatoes in the springtime. This is just fertile soil. Just very, very lovely, very conducive to growing whatever you want to grow. And in this case, it's their ignorance and their support. It's just like, it's a master. Like, this woman is just like telling you, please lead me, daddy. Daddy, take me wherever just take me somewhere, but just lead me.
Gosh.
So you think your freedom to be a Christian has been jeopardized?
I think
not only speech, not only Christian, freedom for religion here, and what the
she totally cares about other religions. I'm magnanimous. It's not just me that I care about. I care about everybody.
It's a slippery slope.
Do you hope that she runs for president in 2012?
Yes, I do.
And you'd support her?
I sure would.
Do you think there might be any problem with supporting her, knowing that you're not familiar with her foreign policy issues?
That's a great question.
No, that wouldn't keep me from not voting for her.
A lot of people that are less informed about politics,
this guy is the informed one. You got to go to him. because you don't have no socialism. Otherwise, I'm taking his jersey. Once socialism comes, mate, I'm taking your jersey, bro. I like that Ohio State shit. That does look pretty cool. I don't want a hoodie. I want the jersey, bro. I want the Terrell Pryor quarterback jersey. You know, the one with the tattoos on because they had a little scandal, whatever. Yeah, shout out to Jim Trussell. He's a good man. Okay. Anyway. I think he was. Okay. Anyway, I love this guy. I love the other guy, the Steelers. Oh, so
it does come up in the public spectrum. They want to yell and scream.
This is not rocket science. I'm talking about going back to the basics of America.
We need good people.
Oh, isn't that like kind of like some Make America Great Again signaling right there? Proto Make America Great. That's what it. Look at that.
Want to yell and scream.
This is not rocket science. I'm talking about going back to the basics of America.
It's not rocket science. We're just going back to the basics. We're just going to make America great. See, you just listen to these guys and they will tell you everything to say at the rallies that they want you to throw. Really, Trump's not in control. They're controlling him. They're telling him and he just say it back to him. So he needs them and they need him. They need a daddy and daddy needs an audience of people to listen to his lies.
We need good people like her that aren't afraid to speak up for reality.
Yeah.
Oh, she's super brave.
She had her time as governor, but I think she's got something up her sleeve.
And I think you're going to see crowds like this wherever she goes.
OMG. Media Matters is dope. That was a long one. Well, it's a long one for a reason. It's because, look, this shit, it happens. It keeps happening. It's amazing. You have to look at this in the context of history. That's why when you see Trump supporters right now, it's like, hey, come on now. Like this, we've always seen this. And then also, another very important thing. With these people, always ask them questions. Way more effective to ask people who you disagree with questions, probing questions like, why do you believe that? Please explain. Please kind of elaborate more. Rather than just be like, no, you're wrong. It's like, it's just not effective. I get that sometimes you hear some really raw stuff and in the moment you want to kind of go at someone. And I get that, but it's kind of, if you're able to kind of control that urge and just start asking probing questions like, well, why do you believe what you believe? What is it about where you're coming from that is able to kind of change my mind. All right, I kind of froze. I was looking at something on the screen. Okay, my lovers. Thank you very much for staying. This is a long one. Anyway, very important. Something to look at. Again, paraphrasing, always ask questions. Don't try not to argue. This gentleman who did the interviews, it's kind of like the modern day, and Emma Vigeland did that now at a lot of the Trump rallies, if you watch TYT. And it's like, just ask questions. Try not to get into it with people like that. It's just more important to just hear where they're coming from. Because for me, it's like, when I hear people say things like Marxism, socialism, and then they can't explain it, I'm like, okay, like that's fair enough. You can't explain it. But I'm not going to also take you seriously. Like,